1. Lift weights 2 to 3 times per week consistently. Here's the problem. Getting strong and building muscle takes time and consistent effort. Grapplers often fall into one of these categories. Either you don't lift at all, which increases your risk of injury and reduces your performance, or you're trying to maintain a traditional 5-day per week training split, which is probably some form of bodybuilding or powerlifting program that you found online. Or you're lifting 2 to 3 times per week. You think you're doing all the right things to get strong for BJJ, but you're not seeing any real results. You're fatigued all the time and your jiu-jitsu performance sucks. All of these approaches are terrible. And here's why. The problem with not lifting at all is that you're increasing your risk of injury by at least 50%, as shown by the research, and you're not getting any stronger. The problem with lifting too often while you're still trying to maintain your jiu-jitsu training is that it will result in what's known as non-functioning overreaching. This is where your training stimulus is greater than your ability to recover. So in essence, you're wasting your time because you're not improving. You're only fatiguing. This can be avoided if your 5-day per week training program accounts for your grappling training. And let's face it, it probably doesn't. And finally, if you're consistently lifting around 2 to 3 times per week and you're not seeing any results, then it's not you that sucks. It's your training program. The immediate solution is to implement a training program designed specifically for grapplers, and together with the other 4 elements in this video, it will enhance your grappling training, not detract from it. We will take you from a state of non-functioning overreaching to functioning overreaching and super compensation. 2. Focus on compound lifts, but ditch the powerlifting. Imagine yourself in this scenario. You download a powerlifting program and you start following it. Fast forward a couple weeks and you're just struggling with the program. You're not seeing any results. You're sore all the time. You're skipping workouts. Your jiu-jitsu training has gone to shit. And now you're wondering why you suck so much. This scenario is far more common than you probably might realize. The problem isn't you. The problem is powerlifting is the wrong solution. Powerlifting training programs are fantastic for powerlifting, not for grappling. A well-designed strength program for grappling will take some of the elements of powerlifting and reject the rest. That's where compound movements come into play. Compound movements incorporate multiple muscle groups and move you through multiple planes of motion. If you're looking for specific exercise recommendations to build grappling strength, then check out the Ultimate Strength Exercises for BJJ video series available here on YouTube. Link is in the description. 3. Incorporate core grip, carry, and rotation. Jiu-jitsu is a dynamic sport. It demands a lot from your body. So you must demand a lot from your training program. Many training programs lack an emphasis on core strength, grip strength and endurance, carrying capacity, and probably one of the most neglected areas, rotation. The solution is pretty simple. You can modify existing exercises of your program to focus on these areas. For example, adding towel grips to your pull-up or a bent over row will enhance your grip strength. Probably the most easiest and effective strategy to include core grip, carry, and rotation is via supersets. At the end of your workout, I recommend pairing a core or rotation exercise with a grip or carry exercise. If you want to find the best program that incorporates these elements, is designed specifically for grapplers, and is targeted toward your goals, then check out my free program quiz. It's completely free, no sign up, no BS. Just follow the link in the description and it'll take you straight to the program quiz. 4. Work in explosive power training. Being strong for jiu-jitsu is not enough. You need to be powerful. Power is your ability to exert maximal force in as little time or with as much speed as possible. You cannot go from 0 to 100 instantaneously. It takes time. Having explosive power in jiu-jitsu is essential. Think about shooting for a takedown, escaping a bad position, passing someone's guard, or fighting for the dominant position in a scramble. The solution is ballistic training. Ballistic training develops your ability to achieve peak force and maximum velocity. Some examples of ballistic training are plyometric training, medicine ball throws and slams, Olympic weightlifting and their derivatives, speed barbell movements, and resistance band movements. If you incorporate elements of power training throughout your workouts, you'll see real benefits on the mats. To learn more about developing power for jiu-jitsu, check out How to Get Explosive Power for BJJ. This is an episode of the BJJ Strong podcast and is available here on YouTube. It's a 20-minute deep dive on everything you need to know about training for power for jiu-jitsu athletes. 5. Implement auto-regulation. One of the most significant problems with traditional strength training and hypertrophy programs is that they lack auto-regulation. Auto-regulation is regulating your training load to your recovery levels for that specific session. So instead of progressive overload or trying to lift based on your 1 rep max, you're lifting a weight that is subjective to how you feel. Without some form of auto-regulation or scaling of your workout, taking into account your training load from grappling, you can be in a state of overreaching and therefore overtraining, where you're simply not recovering from your training stimulus. Auto-regulation reduces this risk. The most effective form of auto-regulation is known as rate of perceived exertion, or RPE. RPE is a scale between 1 and 10, which adds a numeric value to how difficult you feel you're working during your sets. This way, when you're selecting a weight for your strength exercises, you're not just going based on your 1 rep max percentage or trying to increase your volume from the previous week. You're going off of your recovery. This is particularly relevant for grapplers because your jiu-jitsu training is variable from week to week, and so is your recovery. So you need a training program that can adapt with you, not demand too much from you, putting it all together. If you want a training program that puts all of these elements together and more to improve your performance on the mats, get strong for jiu-jitsu, and most importantly, reduce your risk of injury, then check out BJJ Strong Online, the ultimate resource for grapplers. If you got value from this video, it would really help with the YouTube algorithm if you smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave me a fist bump in the comments. And let me know, what do you think about this list? Is there anything that I missed out? Anything I should have included? I want to hear from you. Drop me a comment.